Hi and welcome everyone. This is the Hobo Prepper and I am Friar Tuck. So I finally got my first reward of this whole bike trip, which is I've had about 10 miles of a mini descent with a couple of uphills, but nothing real major. But it's kind of nice. All this uphill and uphill and uphill. You're like, man, you know, why do I want to keep going uphill? I'm trying to avoid hills. Well, now that I've got over the Seven Sisters of Tallahassee, now I get a descent down into flatland. And so, I kind of give you an update of where I'm going, what I'm doing. Well, if you watched my last video, you understand my frustration with Tallahassee. I'm gonna have to figure out something else for my food stamps. Pensacola is my next stop. Now, I am heading towards Memphis, but I expect it to take me about 4 to 6 weeks to get there. It's about a 700-mile trek. There's about 6,000 to 7,000 feet going uphill, and about 5,000 to 6,000 feet going downhill. So I am gonna gain some elevation as I go through the mountains. But the thing is I'm trying to avoid the mountains, and so that's why I'm gonna end up going up through from Pensacola. I'm gonna go over to Mobile, and then from Mobile I should be able to start heading north at that point towards Memphis. So that is the place where I've got to stop. I can't go any further unless I want to, unless I'm on an ODT mission, which, I'm determined, but I ain't that determined. So I should be able to make it there by the end of February, beginning of March. And then I got maybe 1 more month to hunker down there and just kind of chill out, grin and bear it if I have to. And then from there, I can start heading towards Ohio. I'm already in a good direction for it because I'm not too far from it. And that's that. So I got a call from my good friend Delta. And Delta, man, if you're listening to this, I truly appreciate the phone calls that you give me, and the directions you kind of help me with. And those of you that send me emails, I gotta say the same thing to you, and Bridget, of course. Gotta say thank you out to you too. So it looks like we're building a community here. It's taking some time, but we're building a community. So I will keep updating you guys throughout the trip. I got 120 miles to Crestview, and then there's a split in the road. Either I go one direction or I go the other. So that's where I'm gonna probably stop for a day at least. I'm gonna try to, at least. And so, okay guys, so here's a quick trip update. So I'm probably about 15-20 miles in. Got my first flat tire of the trip. It's my second flat tire overall. And it's the same damn tire. It's the rear tire. I don't understand why it's always the rear tire. It would be so much nicer if it was actually the front tire, because it's a pain in the butt to take the rear tire off. And so I found out what actually put the hole in it. They're, like the wires that are in your rubber tires. Well, apparently somebody had a blowout. I must have ran over either the wire or a small piece of it. Wasn't paying attention, because weird thing is, parts of this road have absolutely zero shoulder. I'm required to actually ride in the grass, which that's an even harder pain in the butt, especially when you got all this gear that you're trying to push on top of just your bike. I mean, if it's just me and the bike, wouldn't be a big idea, but add another like 30-40 pounds to it with the gear that I have, and it becomes a little bit more challenging. So I'm having to walk about 2.5 miles to the nearest gas station down the road here, which was planned. You know, I figured I was going to stop there anyways. But now I get to use my rest time instead of doing like R&R and just kind of like, you know, letting my whole body rest. Now I just get to kind of not pedal for a while and kind of have some snacks while I fix my tire. But you know what? At least I have 2 spare tubes, which is important. So, and you can see these clouds, they're not looking very pretty either. So, let's see. Looks like we're gonna have an interesting day. All right, guys. So, to give you a final update for today, my first day leaving Tallahassee, it's been okay. It's been great, but one of the things that you don't really anticipate is breakdowns and mechanical issues. And so when I had to take off the rear wheel and change out the tire, which that was the easy part, but putting it back on, apparently I didn't do it right because the crossbar, I didn't make sure that it got all the way down in the groove. And so I would, you know, put it in first gear and it just started slipping. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And then I checked the chain. We did the chain. It started getting a little bit stronger, but that wasn't the issue until I just sat there and I looked at it and I realized right there at the last moment that I didn't drop the crossbar enough into that little groove. So if you've ever seen the tail end of a hardtail bike, you'll know that there's like 2 little grooves that are in there, and that's kind of where the crossbar sits. And the thing is, I didn't put the crossbar all the way up in that groove the way I was supposed to, and because I didn't do that, is why it was slipping. Once I fixed that, the issue's been fixed. But overall, I've been delayed about 2.5 hours between fixing one mechanical issue from the next. And then I almost lost my charger, but for some reason the universe just loves me today. It is treating me well because first I couldn't find my charging stuff like for my phone. It turned out I had my cord in there, but I was trying to figure out, well, what happened to my charging block, you know, the plug, because with an iPhone you have to have a special charging block. And at first I thought, oh man, it fell out of my coat because I put it on the inside pocket, and usually it stays safe there. But apparently when I was pulling things on and off my bike as I got here to Burger King to stop, and because I got to wash my hands because I got grease all over them and use the bathroom and, well, you know, be courtesy and you know, grab something to eat here. You know, the $5 Your Way meal, it's very filling, and if you are looking to, you know, not spend a lot of money and get quite a bit of food, this is one thing that actually works, or at least it works for me, and that's why I stopped by Burger King, because McDonald's was right next door, and you're paying $2 for a McChicken now. It used to be like $1.20 something, $1.30 something. And I mean, it's like they don't have a dollar menu; they have a $2 to $5 menu now. So I figured, you know what, the bang for my buck is here at Burger King. And so if you're ever out on the road and you're running low on food and you need to grab a good amount of food for cheap, try Burger King. Also, Wendy's has the $5 meal as well, and so does Taco Bell. So you know, all 3 of these, you know, but Taco Bell ain't gonna stick with you for long, and I wouldn't recommend it when you're out on the road, because sometimes you need a direct access to a bathroom after eating Taco Bell. But anyways, so my charging block kind of popped out of my coat as I was going in and out, and it was right there on the ground next to my bike. And so I'm lucky. I need to pay a little bit more attention. I'm kind of getting a little lackadaisical because I'm getting comfortable. And when you get comfortable, you kind of, sometimes you can get sloppy. And that's when mistakes and things that could go bad and could go wrong, that's when that happens. So, you know, that's something to be aware of. But anyways, guys, this is my update. One last thing that I want to talk about, because somebody asked me if they wanted to send me a care package. And when I first started on my trip, I told you guys, if you ever wanted to send me a care package, let me know, and we'll work something out. If you want to send me a care package, one of the things that you are going to have to do is you're going to have to send me an email, jasonthewise81@yahoo.com. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know that you sent me an email so I can check my spam folder, because a lot of the times I don't get it if it's you know, if I don't know that it's coming. And then, you know, as far as what do I need, as far as shirts, people keep saying cotton kills, and I'm starting to find out why. I need to get rid of this stuff here, and I need to get into some merino wool so that I can wick myself, you know, get the sweat to wick off, because, you know, it's 75 during the day and like 30 at night. I mean, that's a big swing. And if you're sweating during the day and then all of a sudden you haven't taken time because, you know, you're not paying attention, now all of a sudden your stuff's damp, and then when it drops down into the cooler temperatures, you're not doing well. So tonight's supposed to be like 55, but the next couple of nights is going to be like 40 and 30. So I think there's even a 28 or 29 degree night. So that's something that I'm going to have to really be aware of over the next couple of days. But if you want to send me something like as a care package, as far as supplies that I need, as far as like gear, what I really need is just, I need shirts, and I need the right kind of shirts. The other thing that I could use is I would like a wool blanket, but I keep doing my research on the wool blanket, and it seems like that it's only benefit because apparently you can use fleece with wool. And I'm asking you guys for your advice because you probably know a little bit more about wool than I do. And they're saying that with wool, you know, it's good for like if it gets damp or if it gets wet, and it's breathable, which is good during like a warm summer and stuff like that. But I'm looking for something that is going to take me down to 0 degrees and in the negative temperatures if I ever get caught in a situation like that. Like, let's say I'm on the road and, you know, a flash blizzard happens. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. I need to make sure that I stay warm, and I need to have the right blanket. Right now I have a fleece blanket. I can stay warm inside my tent, but there is moisture that does get inside my tent just because it's warmer inside my tent than it is outside, plus my breathing and all that other stuff. So I'm not, if you guys have any tips, I could definitely, I'll definitely listen to what you have to say on this one. Yeah, just, you know, sleepwear, wearable wear. I need to start getting into wool, including wool socks. I do have one pair of wool socks, but they're dress wool socks. They're thin wool socks. They're not going to keep me warm. They just keep my feet dry, especially when my shoes get soaked at night sometimes. As far as food, I'm going to show you a picture of some stuff that I bought at Aldi's today. I spent less than $10. I got myself what I consider to be 3 days worth of food. Maybe I got a little bit less, but to me, I mean, I got some oats for the morning, I got some snacks for the day, and then I got soups for the night. And that's kind of what I like to eat, just because my stomach doesn't really like to eat very much food. Especially the more that I work out, the more that I ride, the less appetite that I have. And that's been my struggle this whole trip. That's why I'm losing weight so quickly and so much. So anyways, guys, you know how to help the channel. Like, subscribe, share. Come on over to Patreon. And now we're gonna have to figure out some stuff that's going on Patreon, because my producer Delta has he's recommended that I show you guys some of the stuff that's over on Patreon to kind of you know, one, grow the subscribership here, because, you know, he's helping me get the channel monetized, and, you know, he gives me some of the ideas that we need to keep to keep you guys interested. So some of these video ideas, you should be thanking him, not me, because you know, he gives me the consumer point of view, which is something that I really, really need. And so I'm going to be referring to him as my producer because quite frankly, it's kind of the way I'm starting to see him. And you know, you could also, you know, put something in the tip jar. You could get something through the affiliate links. Again, if you want to send me a care package, send me an email. Let me know that you sent me an email. I will keep an eye on it. I don't really like giving out my legal name, and if I do give you my legal name, I am relying on you to keep that between you and me and no one else, because I got a kid and I don't want him to be put in jeopardy because of the things that I do if I become, you know, famous or whatever. So, you know, one thing's going to lead to another, but if you do get my legal name, please keep it to yourself. Don't say it in the comments. I mean, if you talk to me over the phone, that's one thing, but I really like to keep my autonomy for the protection of my son. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.